Hey everybody, welcome to Big Four Motors. My name's Thor. Today we're going to be talking about a Grand Cherokee Limited, but this isn't just any Limited. This is a 2021 80th Anniversary Edition. So let's see what makes this a little bit different than everything else. So one of the first things you'll notice about an 80th Anniversary Edition is this theme of piano black with gray metallic paint. So we have that all throughout the vehicle, and you're going to see that a little bit more as we go through it. One really cool thing we like to do at Jeep is add Easter eggs into all our vehicles. So this one, it's a tiny little flat fender Jeep over there, and since 1941 on the other headlight. So that's pretty cool. So we're powered by a 3.6 liter naturally aspirated V6 with an 8-speed torque flight transmission. Good for about 11.3 liters per 100 kilometers. Now behind that, we have a Quadra-Track 2 all-wheel drive system, 4-wheel drive system. The cool thing about that is it's always on just a little bit. So if you're driving down some mountain road, you hit a little bit of ice, I would always rather have a little bit of power already going to all four wheels instead of it having to react after the fact. So on the Grand Cherokee Limited 80th Anniversary Edition, we get a little bit of a different wheel than you get from factory on the normal one. It's a 20-inch still, but it's got this interesting pattern to it, wrapped in Pirelli. It's a 20-inch rim, very nice tire, very nice wheel package. One thing that's interesting about these vehicles that I personally like a lot, you can't see it on video, but underneath here, our wheel well comes right up to this trim piece. So that means that all the dirt and crud and salt and sand on the roads doesn't get in behind here and rot out this fender. So that's a good thing. So a nice optional feature that this Grand Cherokee has is our towing group, which gets you a Class 4 hitch. Now you can add a Class 4 hitch to anything and it'll still tow the same amount of weight. 6,200 pounds with a V6, 7,200 pounds with a V8. With our towing group from the factory though, we get some additional engine cooling. And in the back, lift up the power tailgate. Pretty nice if you're in the rain, you know, screaming toddler, groceries, hit the button, up she goes. The back, we also get a full-size spare tire. So that's pretty nice. If you have to have a flat tire, it's nice to not have to put a skinny donut on there. So starting in the back corner here, so I can show you, we have the window sticker. On Big Four, we put a window sticker on every vehicle, so there's no guessing, there's no wondering. They're also all online. So if you want to check out what specific features are on the vehicle that you're interested in, you can find it on our website. In the back here, one really nice thing about the 80th anniversary is we have heated seats in the back, so that's huge. I'm 6'1", and I'm all leg. And my beautiful haircut is not touching the headliner. I got plenty of room for a long trip, so that's pretty nice. Heated seats would be pretty cool in the winter too. So one thing I really like about the limited trim, especially this 80th anniversary, is you get a lot of premium features for a pretty reasonable price, including heated and cooled front seats, heated rear seats, big panoramic roof with a power shade. You get adaptive cruise control. So you can hit regular cruise control and just drive it like normal. But if you want to relax a little bit on a long drive across the prairies, you can hit adaptive cruise control. That'll lock onto the car in front of you. They slow down, you slow down. They speed up, you speed up. It's not a huge vehicle, but you know, parallel parking something like this could be a bit challenging for some people. So we have this button down here, which is our parking system. It will reverse into a parking spot, or it will parallel park. And we'd love to do this on test drives because we can show it off. It looks great. So the Grand Cherokee Limited, the way we order them, comes with the 8.4-inch touch screen. That's the Uconnect 4C, but this one has nav. So we get in, we hit this button. Where to, home, work, wherever you'd like to be. But if you get into the map, it's a very intuitive system. You can pull, drag, twist it around. It's very responsive, very nice. Get into the climate control. You can hit it up and down by dragging your finger. But the nice thing is, Jeep's kind of built for people with an active lifestyle. Active lifestyle people sometimes wear gloves in the wintertime. So having knobs for your temperature, for your radio, you don't have to go into that screen if you want to. On top of that, we also have voice recognition. So a lot of these features can be done just by hitting a button and talking to your car. On she goes. So I talked about it a little bit earlier, but this has the Quadra-Track 2 transfer case system. So most people have an all-wheel drive or a four-wheel drive car. They don't really think too much about the transfer case. But with Jeep, we do things a little bit differently. So we have a whole slew of modes. Snow mode starts you off in second gear, beefs up your traction control. Rock mode does things like turn your traction control all the way off and puts you into low range. Now, Being a proper transfer case, it is a 2-speed transfer case, which means that you can flat tow this behind your RV, but it does mean, as I said before, you have low range. So if you want to do some real off-roading, you can do it with this vehicle. We've also got a hill descent control. So if you're driving into a campsite, you want to camp in some dry ravine, you're going down a sandy, rocky hill, you put it in 4-low, you hit this hill descent control, the traction control, the brakes, the 4-wheel drive, everything all works together, and it guides you down the hill without the vehicle running away from you. So that's pretty nice as well too. As I mentioned earlier, your 4-wheel drive system is always on a little bit. It's biased to the rear, so it's gonna drive a little bit more like a truck with a bit more rear drive. But there's always some power going to the front, which means that if you get into trouble, the system doesn't have to react and send power to the front. It's already got a little bit in reserve up there, but it doesn't affect your fuel mileage. As I said before, 11.3 liters per 100 kilometers with this V6. So finally, we get to the engine bay. It's usually the last stop on a delivery. I like to show my customers just how intuitive these vehicles are. Everything you need to touch and check is going to be marked yellow. We have washer fluid, engine coolant, engine oil dipstick. And the brake fluid is right up here. It's got electric power steering, helps with fuel mileage, helps with maintenance. Also means you don't have to check power steering fluid reservoir. Right now we have 15% off on these vehicles. With this particular vehicle, that's over $10,000 off. So if you're interested in the Grand Cherokee Limited 80th Anniversary Edition, please call me, Thor, at Big Four Motors.